Okay, so here we are, Epic Adventure Dungeon Crawl. The build is complete, and I have the books here. I have already taken the liberty of creating the inserts for the game. These little token inserts that are up here on top were extra that I had left over from another project, and was able to repurpose these rather nicely, I think. So that's all the tokens, doors, the damage tokens and standees that I created. I will do a unboxing, if you will, an overview after I get everything complete. If I can get that to focus. There we go. A little bit. So these are standees that I put together for the build. And this one here is my favorite. It is the Laden Down Adventurer, and kind of like this. So there's a whole bunch. All of the characters are accounted for. The Bard jamming out, and the Warrior, and the Barbarian, and the Cleric, all of these guys. All right, so, and then here are the cards. There's roughly 900 cards here. So I did a video about how to make these inserts and sort of the processes that are included along with that. And so my thought here is so you've got the core game is up on top here, and then all the expansions underneath. And the idea here is to build a custom box for this, right? So I really want something that is going to be thematic and specific and fit this game like a glove, right? So I'm just kind of playing with sort of little layout pieces and seeing how this is going to go. I have invested in some 60-point 12 by 12 sheets here, relatively thick chipboard, and have already measured out sort of the box pieces here that are going to fit our game, and have jumped on Canva to create the box piece and the side labels like that. So we're going to build this box from scratch, and just thought I would do a little video on sort of the processes of that, and so let's give it a shot. All right, so the first thing that I want to do is take a look at the box insert, right, footprint, and kind of take a look and see what we're going to need. And I think if you can see here, it looks just like about 4.5 inches is about where the height of that box needs to be, right? So so that's what we're going to go for, and I've already taken a measurement around. It's roughly 10 5/8 by 11 1/4 is what we're kind of looking at. And so here I've got things already drawn out, so I'm going to just cut here, and with this particular build I'm going to just talk about the stage, build it, and then come back, right? Because it's a matter of cutting the sizes that we need. I'm going to cut the side walls, right, the size that we need, and then we're just going to glue those here. I'm using handy dandy trusty Gorilla Wood Glue. And then what we'll do is we will get it all glued, and then we will have that base box. Then we'll do a dry fitting, of course, to make sure that everything looks like it's going to fit in there. Then we'll proceed with the lid, and then we'll talk about just some other embellishments and the painting of everything as we go. So one of the things I wanted to point out, right, is because this is something that I am hand cutting with metal ruler and my 18 trusty handy 18 millimeter snap blade. Because that's a hand cut situation, the measurements are as close, right, as I think that I can get them. And then, but there's always a little variation, right? But there's not really enough variation to kind of sort of tell by the eye, if that makes sense. So when cutting these side wall pieces, I measure these each specifically to the side and not go off of, if you remember, I talked about the measurement length, right, being like 11 1/4 as an example, right? So there's just a little bit of variation, the tiniest bit from here on this side to that side. There always will be. I think that this is a good sort of look at, see that you can see it's about 1 millimeter or so difference between the two. But once we get all of this together, you won't be able to tell. So you cut each sidewall independently. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna glue these on it here, here, and here, right? And then we're gonna take our next boards to measure in between the two, and then those will go on in between like that. So that's kind of the process. And I think that's a good piece to kind of think about, because if you go off of just doing straight measurements for the board and then straight measurements for these, you're going to end up with that variation where it's not going to want to connect properly, right, and give you that piece. So you'll end up wasting material. So hopefully that saves a step for you, and something that took me a minute to sort of gather in, but there you go. All right, here we go. Applying the glue. Let's see, here we go. Oop. Jiminy Christmas. Trying to do this. Yep. And then same method, if you recall, with the card inserts video, then we're going to just run our finger along the edge to help the glue find its place, like that. All right, so then you're gonna end up with that kind of action, and we're gonna put it down just like that, line it up, and then perfect. It looks like we are right on the edge all the way down, and good end-to-end coverage there for this board. And then you just want to hold it, right? This Gorilla Wood Glue is fantastic, and it acts quickly. I think there's another formula out there that's like new and improved and all that kind of stuff. It's a little bit more. I'm not sure if I need that or if anyone needs that really for this kind of crafting, but it exists and it holds quick and all that kind of thing. But you just want to give this a good amount of pressure for a good few minutes, but because it does bind quickly with the chipboard, and then you'll be able to just work with it after it's been glued. So we'll just hold this for a couple more minutes here, and then this will be fixed together. Yep, there you go. That's it. Not even a minute. There you are. So now we're gonna turn this around, and we'll just clean up a little bit of the glue that's on here, and just wipe that edge a little bit to keep things clean. We'll clean that edge up over here, and this one, you can see how stable it is already. So we'll let this one dry a little bit more and solidify. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put these cross pieces in here. We'll measure this from here to here and drop those in with glue all around to cinch up the box, and we'll do a dry fit to see how the inserts fit in there. Okay, so the base of the box is done. You can see here, and now let's do the sort of dry fit here and see how everything kind of goes in there together. This is going to be our top layer, so we will just move this aside here, and let's see, here we go. So this is going to be the bottom portion, just like this and this. I wanted to make sure that we left a little bit of space in here because I didn't want things to be overly tight in here, but I wanted them to fit in there. So so there you go. That is the base layer, and then the next layer is going to be in here, and here we go. All right, boom, boom, boom. Looks like we got some good fitting in there. So all right, so sometimes I'm concerned, right? Box looks like it's nice and has some real good right angles, right? And sometimes you may need to just kind of check that as you're putting the box together to make sure that you don't, your box edge isn't coming in or out, kind of a thing, right? So all right, so we put all the rest of these guys in here, and we got this one. Okay, and lastly, the books. Woo! All right, here we go. All right, hey, check that action out. Okay, everything fits, man. It is a go. So now we will work on the lid, putting that together, and we'll get that painted and detailed, and yeah, coming along. Okay, so we're planning the box lid now, and so we need to think about making sure that we create the sidewalls for the lid so that they will fit down on the box and not constantly rub it too hard or be too tight, right? So what I do is I'll take the bottom of the box now that it is built, and we'll put it on here. So the idea with the lid box is we're going to attach the wall pieces on the outside here. So it's not going to be on top like the bottom is, right? On top of this piece, right? So if that makes sense. All right, so we're going to, I'm looking at this edge here, and there's about a 1/16 of a gap, 1/16 of an inch, all the way around. So I'm going to measure to come out here about a 1/16 of an inch here, and on the back side, and give a cut. So by the time I'm done, my lid box will be about a 1/16 of an inch bigger than the base of the box, and then the sidewall pieces are going to be attached on the outside to go down like that, right? So that's the idea, and with any luck, it'll all come together. So let's find out how this goes. Okay, so the lid here is a little bit more precise. We really want to make sure things are 90 degrees here. So what I have done is I glued this edge here already, and so I'm gonna let this just dry a little bit more, a few more minutes before messing with this other side, measuring, cutting and gluing this side to it. And then once we get both sides done this way, I'm going to take the next end pieces then, and we're going to put these on the outside of all pieces. So they'll be glued all the way around here like that, right? So just thinking about the integrity of the box lid, make sure that it's going to be good. So while this is drying, I'm using the grid on the craft mat here to make sure that I pull this edge out and so that it's lined up on that 90-degree angle. So we'll let that sort of dry like that for a few, and then we'll come back to it when this is good and solid, and we'll do the other side, and then we'll work on doing the end pieces. All right, we are ready for the end pieces. I think the best way to do this is to have the box right on end, and then take this end piece, and we're going to measure it from the outside all the way to the outside, and so then hopefully we get a nice straight line, as straight as possible, right? So that when it goes on top, it's going to make sure that these flaps are pulled in the right direction there. So we'll give that a shot and we'll see how it goes. All right, one piece on here on the end, and it is glued all the way around. Looks really good, perpendicular. Remember what I said too about the cuts being slightly off here and there. Keep the box on end like so. We're gonna measure this side here for the other end piece, and then we'll get that glued. Okay, we have our box top built, and now for the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's see if this will go. Keep in mind, right, it's only goes on a certain way because of the measurements, right? Here we are. All right, check that action out. So it is on there. There should be a little bit of space in here. That's exactly what you want. This gives you a little something to hold on to as you are lifting the box, and you can kind of see the overall fit. It's not too tight, which is what we want, because we're going to be spray painting this box, and things are going to get a little bit tighter as well. So perf. All right, so we have the box built, and now we are, that's the hard part, right? So I went out and I picked up some corner pieces, and so we're going to determine which one of these is going to look best on here, and we might use a couple of each, maybe the low one for the bottom and the pointed one for the top kind of deal. We also have these guys, which are very utilitarian. So these are gonna go on here something like this, right? So looks like if we did the bottom one, because we have the lip there, we might be able to do something like that. We're gonna have to see, right, how that's gonna work. But these are just going to dress it up, right? It's also going to add to the integrity, and we will hot glue these pieces in, but we're going to spray paint everything. We'll add the box labels and the side labels, and then we will come back and add our little embellishments here like that. We may not end up putting any on the bottom here, but we'll see. We'll have to see how that goes. But there you are. That is the box, my friends, and we are getting there. All right, so the box is built, and now we're just gonna spray paint it. I do like to use a semi-gloss or a satin paint and primer, sort of a spray can, and this thing is ready to go. So we're going to spray it. I like this kind of gloss or satin look because it mixes real well with the labels, right? The pieces that we're going to mount on there later because they are, you know, shiny print pieces of art on there, and it will mix real well. So we're going to get spraying on these, and then we'll attach labels and some of the other details, and we'll get all of the inserts also painted here, and with the same color. See how this goes. All right, we are getting closer and closer, you guys. So here is the trays, right, all done, all painted, and we've let them dry 24 hours along with the box over here. I've got the hot glue gun loaded up here. We're gonna get the cards put in here and into the bottom of the box. And then what I'm gonna do is, I've cut the labels already here, and I'm going to use my glass tabletop to sort of turn these over and make sure that we can get good coverage. I like to use a good glue stick, and recently found a really cool one that works well. It's a relatively soft glue stick, so it does go, it does get used pretty quickly, especially with the crafts that I'm putting together. But we'll put this together. I've got the hot glue gun also on there, and man, we are getting closer and closer. So let's load these up, and then we'll get putting the labels on it. Okay, let's try round 2. Here we go. All righty. All right, perfect. And now we can apply pressure. Get the edge real well. There we go. That sucker's on there. All right, so one of the things that's important, I find, with labels is to ink the edge around, right? Because I don't know if you can see that on here, but I've made an investment in these sharp inking markers to ink the edge, and this really helps the labels, right, to kind of sort of lay down on the box too as you're applying them, right? So perfect. That top is done. Now we're going to do the side. All right, here we go. And this is essentially just going to repeat ×4. So we'll get this on here and make sure we got some good adjustments. Perf. And then we just apply like so. And you can see there's a little bit of glue on there, but it'll come right out. And just like that. And that will, boom. There you go. So I like thinking that the glue stick just kind of makes me a little tidier too. Makes me makes for fewer mistakes, or at least correctable mistakes, as you can see. Here you go. All right, so we're gonna do the other 4 sides, and that box lid will be done. Okay, so the box labels are attached, and you can see here the side labels are on here, and everything is looking great. So one last thing I like to do, and I've got the glue gun heating up here, is add this little corner detail. I find that it really sort of pulls everything together, and also creates just a nice little corner protecting edge for the box right there. So we'll get those glued on there, and then we'll put the cards in the base and put it all together and get this thing finished up. All right, my friends, we have done it. The box is done. The insert is all put together. Everything is ready to go. Let's just get everything in here and see how it all fits and how it all has just come together so nicely. Really had a great time with this build, and I will be doing a deeper dive on the game itself here in another video, a little breakdown and unboxing, I guess, if you will. And we got our tokens coming in here, and lastly, the books are in here. All right, I think we have done it. And here we go. Pièce de résistance. The lid. Oh man, that fits nicely on there. Okay, cool. That is it, man. I had a fun time building this box and putting this whole project together. Would love to hear your thoughts on it. Would love to hear if you've attempted to do a box like this. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you on the next one.